Whiskey Lima Golf MW0XTT going clear.
Can I call in there, Paul?
Somebody wants to say something?
Yeah, just me. Just to say, Richard, absolutely fantastic. Only you could go to all that effort and make them look so similar and have a laugh. You worked very well done. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, Pam. Yeah, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Back to you then, Paul.
GCA. How's Mr. GCA? Have yourself an over.
Hi, good morning, Paul, Richard, Pam, and I'm not sure whether that was Tony as well. Everybody coming back at the same time. Yeah, this one's to you, Pam, if you're hearing me. I'm not sure, was it Pete that was coming your way? I know somebody was coming to visit. He was coming to look at the yacht. I wonder how the visit went, and I hope everything's okay that way. Sorry for this, but I just thought I'd ask Pam and see how things went. From M3GCA.
Answer him, Pam, if you like.
No visitors yet, Alan. We'll catch you up on that in the next day or so, okay?
Roger, Roger.
Yeah, morning anyway, to you. Let's go to, we'll go, JTU. M3GCA, just put that down in there. Mr. Alan, got you. Right, another Alan, right next to, I'll put you in Richard's place, Alan, that's M3GCA. GW0JTU, G0 Whiskey Lima Golf.
G0 Whiskey Lima Golf, GW0JTU, yes. I'm just watching the crows around here. Somehow we've got a massive amount of crows appeared in our area. And I mean, they're all over the ditches on the back of where I live. I can see them on the roofs and there's a massive amount. And there's some these solar panels. And they've been under the solar panels, been everywhere at the moment. There seems to be a massive amount of crows around. So I don't know what's happening. Are they all getting ready to go away or what? But they certainly I can see about 20 or 30 just from my shack window here. Enough of that. Everybody's coming through very, very strong. Pam is 20 over and bits and pieces. It's unbelievable because about a week or fortnight ago we couldn't hear each other. With that, I'm going to say 70Cs as well. I'm going to go down and make myself a cup of coffee. I haven't had one yet, so I'm getting fairly dry here. With that, 70Cs to all the best to everybody. Have a good day. G0 Whiskey Lima Golf, GW0JTU.
Mr. NOK. G0 NOK. Have yourself an over, John. Late on parade.
Yeah, morning. Paul woke up a bit late, one way or another. Heard the station from across the border there. There we go. Watched Country File yesterday, and the Wales team of one man and his two dogs in half and half the competition. Wales team won, so that's quite interesting. Watching that last night on the Essex Roadshow, I think. So their 40th Ruby Series are starting for the Essex Roadshow. That game spent fairly late. So I woke up a bit late this morning, so been on UHS briefly and sort of with the locals and then come on down here. So that's the reason there, young Paul. Trust all's well. I trust you're having a good morning, all messers out there. How my gathers out there, people. Do you doing okay?
That was 2 men and 3 dogs, John, wasn't it?
Well, 2 men and 3 dogs eventually, yeah.
No, I didn't. I was trying to watch it and I fell asleep. And I woke up at 9:30 and I've been up ever since. So that was me. Right, let's get Gary in because he hasn't said a great deal. And then we'll go to Pam. 2E0 GGI, G0 Whiskey Lima Golf. You there, Rob?
That's to me, of course.
So I'll say 7-3 on this one, and nice to catch you all, and I'll see if I can call in tomorrow morning from
See, this is for John, actually. I haven't... And it's got lots of things on there, and a lot of them we don't use. I use quite a few features on the 7300, but I don't use the SWR set there. I was messing about with aerials. You can't really have an aerial that you can say, well, you can set it up, so when you go there, it's going to be right. But there again, who needs a tuner for an amateur radio aerial if you get it resonant, which mine is. Both of mine are resonant, so I don't mess about tuning. I just look at the SWR that's what's on the bottom of my scale, SWR, and on the radio it's not even moving. So no matter what radio put on that antenna, it wouldn't move. It's only there for reference. If something was wrong, that needle was going up and down, I know there's a problem. But yeah, there is an awful lot in that 706 I should never ever use. I haven't got this separation cable, so I can chuck the main body of the radio in the boot. I'm hoping the MFJ will just tune as the LDD tuner does, which is push the button and away it goes. Hope it does that. If that's the case with the ATAS, I should be well away. Anyway, over to you, Pam. M0PBX G0 Whiskey Lima Golf.
G0 Whiskey Lima Golf, Mike 0 Papa Bravo X-ray. Yeah, well, John will come and say a little bit on that in a minute, but, you know, at home here we've got a tuned dipole for 80, 40 and 20, so the dipole's set up as is. But on the boat we've got the insulated backstay, as we've said before now, and then we've got the SGC 230 Smart Tuner, so that's the one that tunes the antenna on the boat. But certainly this separation cable, as anyone will see who comes to our shack, John's mounted the head of the radio onto a clipboard, which we're lying on our bed and got in front of us at the moment and can talk on, and of course the radio is in the station, so it really is a useful feature. And he's done the same sort of thing in the van as well, so we've got a separation cable, the radio's mounted in the boat, but the front face is actually in the van, and the front face is actually on a little clipboard, so it's easy to use. So he's a very clever man, is my darling husband. Here he is.
She wants something, Paul, doesn't she? Yeah, just play with that, the matrix system, because it's fantastic for setting up. You can, like I said earlier, you know, I've got ours set 10 kc down, first keying, and then it steps to the frequency, and then we go 10 kcs up. But instantly you can see, even with our tuned aerial, this matrix box comes up and it will go down to a fine line, you know, and when it's raining it's so accurate that is no longer a fine line. It shows you a much thicker line, even though it's tuned aerial. Play with it because it's very useful, and you've obviously got the other indicator for SWR, but really, really useful. Use it all the time and play with it. Don't skip over it and forget it. Yeah, Mike 3 JBX, back to Pam, but thank you very much, Paul. Well done. Good net.
And this is not an Icon selling machine radio at the moment. We are doing too much selling on it, I know, but very well done, Paul. We'll make that our last one. I'm sure you're going round for finals anyway. Look forward to catching everyone tomorrow. So thanks for the net. G0 Whiskey Lima Golf from M0PBX and M3 JBX. John and Pam down in sunny Falmouth.
Have to try and find out where that is on the menu.
Oh, there's lots there, John.
Oh, there's loads. I started looking at the book. There's one thing, this radio turned off after about an hour. It set up to it, did that, don't know why. I went in and found that and did that. That's about all I've done, really, and altered the mic gain. Put it up one notch from where it was, and that was it. I touched it. Icons, you get them out of the box and they work. I think that's about all you can say about them, really. Anyway, go back up to the top, and no, sorry, Old Pink Welly's there. Just a minute, hang on, stand by your beds. Old Pink Welly, have yourself an over, Harold.
Yeah, okay there, Paul. Yeah, one and only there, of course. But we'll announce to people that it's my 41st anniversary today. If everyone is interested to congratulate me for 41 years. I'm married to my dear wife there. Okay,
congratulations.
So, I'll leave it with you there, Paul, and I'll scoot off again. Short and sweet this morning, over.
Yeah, okay, well, happy 41st wed anniversary. The woman deserves a bloody medal. But be about 6 foot round though, Harold. I don't know if you'd have better carry that one, but congratulations on that. 41 years, dear oh dear. She could have been out, on parole by now. Dear oh dear. She chopped up little pieces and spread your body all over the country. She'd still be out on parole. She deserves a medal. Anyway, no serious, Harold. Joking aside. Back up to you, Tony, for a final. M0TPG, G0 Whiskey Lima Golf.
G0 Whiskey Lima Golf, Mike 0 Tango Papa. Congratulations there, Harold. I'll be there next year. We just done 40, so there we go. All the best. Just before I go, I was going to mention that. I don't know. He maybe not. He's probably not listening now, but Alan about the crows. I noticed above us, just at the back of us, there's just above a little bit further up the hill. There's a field, and then that goes on up the hill to a copse of trees at the top. And there were a swarm of crows. There must have been about 30 or 40 of them, and it was like something out of a film of birds. So I don't know. It must be something they do at this time of year. I don't know why they all congregated together. I have no idea. So there we go. And something else I was going to mention, but it's gone right out of my head. No, can't think. It's gone. So all the best, everyone. Send me straight, and catch you in the morning for Tony Tuesday, hopefully. G0 Whiskey Lima Golf, Mike 0 Tango Papa Golf. Send me through, everyone.
Cheers, Tony.
Yeah, 10-3, Tony. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Yeah, got a bit of a hectic one for me. One for a Monday. Anyway, Steve's gone. You gone, Steve?
No, not yet, but just about.
Yeah, I'm going Friday. Whether I'll go Saturday or not depends.
Flu jab, you can get a little bit of feeling like you've got a cough.
That's gone through okay. Probably a bit close, and I don't know what power you might have been running barefoot, for all I know, but perfectly readable. So there you go. And yes, Colin, I've been doing two things, Colin. I've been trying to get a shed re-roofed and felted. Big job. That is now done, or at least the back is broken. It's waterproof. So that's why the last couple of days I haven't been staying long. And today I'll have to cut and run shortly because we got the decorator coming round and got to organise him and see if he's got any problems, etc. And Anne's going to the hairdressers, so I'm on my Todd apart from the decorator. So round to you, Mike. But Mike, do check if you're getting out. G3 MHX M1 PVC, and then on to Martin G3YJO, please.
M1 PVC, G3NX on the group there. G3MH, G3MH. Yeah, sorry chaps, I forgot to put the HT switch on. That was all that was wrong. I've been tuning and I forgot. Control wire to the microphone here, control lead, was shorting out to the chassis of the transmitter via the microphone lead. And I cleared that, and so the modulation's fine now as far as I'm concerned. And I changed the 6SL7 double trial first AF stages there, and I also checked with the monitors with the lamp load, and it's working great. So I think the old 6SL7, it's been there since I was about 25, a long time ago. So anyway, I've got a new 6SL7 in there, and the next driver is a 6SL7 transmitter. Anyway, the story is that he's overcast here. It was warm and nice yesterday. Maybe the cloud go eventually. Anyway, I think it's Martin. Normally it's Martin after me, so I'll pass it over to you if you can hear me, Martin. So is it G3YG on the group G3MHX?
G3MHX, G3YJO, yeah, very good, much better there, Mike, and all copied, good strength 9 and Q5, so there we go. Colin, very good on your 19 set, sounding very good this morning. Paul, strength 9 plus, Ian, strength 8 to 9, Brian, strength 9, and Trevor dropping back slightly from 9 plus down to sort of 8 to 9. But good signals this morning. On the wireless set 52, and now I've switched on the high power amplifier and switched on to the right frequency, which I haven't got before. Wondered why there wasn't so much apparently coming out. So we'll be interested to see if that makes it any better. Bit overcast. It was a lovely day yesterday. Spent some time out in the garden polishing off some cleaning up activities, and glad to hear that you made good progress waterproofing your shed there. Paul, so lovely day, but then in the evening it started to rain, and this morning it's dark and gloomy. Goodness me, it looks very autumnal indeed. Right, so let me pass it on to Colin, and hope you're copying Colin on this little 62 set, running into the 19 set high power unit now, so hopefully a little bit more coming out than before. So with that, G3TSK. Oh, by the way, sorry, before I pass it on to you, Colin, excellent QSO on 60 meters yesterday with the DX40, sounding really good, and really excellent. So it was good to have a QSO up there with Mervyn as well. G3TSK, G3YJO.
I'm much obliged. I get a swell head, you know, before too long, Martin. Oh, dear me, that's very good. Thank you very much indeed for that. I think I've gone as far as I can with it. I monitored it, you know, the 19 set and the DX40 on a recorder, and quite frankly, I couldn't tell any difference. A bit of slight modification, but very slight, but I couldn't tell any difference. But just my ears, they're getting rather old now. But yeah, it gives another sort of arrow to my bow, if you like. And you know, Martin, just as I was going to start transmitting there, I nearly picked up the wrong microphone. I really did, because I'm looking at the DX40 now, and the 19 set is a little bit off to one side there. Back troubles, oh goodness me, don't talk to me about back troubles. When we first moved here about 14 years ago, Sheila said, will you put that bird box up on that tree? I said, yeah. I grumbled a bit, of course, but I got the ladders, put the ladders against the tree, and the ladder fell, and I fell with the ladder. And since then I've had back problems. They offered me an operation. I was in hospital for a week. I said no. And I walked along Blue Anchor Promenade, which is about 3/4 of a mile, with my nose touching the ground. But gradually, after about 3 or 4 months, I came up, and I started to walk. And I think there's a comment about walking, and I would agree. Walking, when I get a bad back, I do a bit of walking, and it really does help things. And I know another friend who has a very bad back, much worse than mine, and he goes walking very regular. He said it's the only thing that really gives him relief, and the back's okay for a while. So I can recommend, from my point of view anyway, the walking side of things. Shed and re-roof. Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me about that yesterday. Now you've woken up my brain there, Paul. Well, I hope it went well. When I had to do it to the outside shed, I got my son to come and help us, and we used that thick felt. My goodness, it's heavy stuff, isn't it? But we didn't put a nail in it, as I said yesterday to you. We just bent it around the edges and glued it with this gluey stuff that's all black and horrid and won't come off anything when it gets on your hands and what have you. And so there we go. There's no nail holes for the water to percolate through there. We hope. And also on the decorating, hate it. The whole house is in disarray. Absolutely hate it. And my daughter's had an extension made, and it's been happening for quite some time. And I think she's getting towards the end of her tether. She's got 2 young children, and there's nowhere to put anywhere, and they're living in one room sort of business, you know. Very difficult. But when it's all over,
Oh, that's the time, isn't it? You forget about the bad bits, don't you? And all right, Mike, about your mother, I did hear. Mike, you're not the only one, Mike. I was guilty as well. But what I found with me, Mike, I was using a Belling Lee, and it was a new Belling Lee, and it doesn't fit into the old sockets. The plug makes a nice open circuit virtually when it goes into the socket. You have to use an old sort of Belling Lee to get a good purchase, and that was my trouble, so it seems. It has to be proved yet, but it appears to be a good fit, but it isn't. There's an insulation just about right round it, and if you wiggle it a bit, you maybe take the plug out and put it back in again. It makes contact. So I'm paranoid now, Mike. I've got a meter here, and I keep checking things. So there you go. All right then. Over to you then. Oh, Brian's gone, hasn't he? Brian's gone. Good morning to you, Brian. And okay, on the back. I hope it gets well. You got management for some of most of us are. So hope to hear you tomorrow. Ian, Hedges as well. Good signal from you, Ian. A good signal from Trevor, 5 and 5 Trevor, Paul 5 and 9, Mike at 4 and a 5, mainly a 5 there, and 6 or 7 noted. Martin a good 5 and 9. So back to the top of the list, and there's Ian. F4 VSC, Golf 3 Tango, Sierra Kilowatt near Minehead. Go ahead, Ian, please, over.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. There was a carrier on your signal. To the station who put the carrier on, I've no doubt you can hear us. It just isn't on to do that on somebody else's signal and tune up. Just don't do it, please. Right, well, having had that little moan, yeah, to my mind, that 19 set definitely has it, Colin. It just sounds so nice, and the mod is so good on it. Not only is it powerful mod, but it sounds nice as well. It has really nice communication tones, not harsh at all. So you should be very proud of that. Mike, G3N, your last over. Mike, were you a 5 and 7 to 5 and 8? So a very good signal, and the mod sounding fine on that. I didn't quite understand. You said you left the HT switch off. One assumes that if you leave the HT switch off, it won't transmit. But perhaps you, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just curious about that. Martin, I thought you were on the 62 set, but you said you're on the 52 set, so 5-9, sounding very good indeed. Trevor, a little bit down on the last over, and I did resort to the FPH site because it was easier. I could hear you. It wasn't too bad, but it was better on the FPH site. I think I'll make this a final, chaps. So we've got things to do. I've got a trailer load of garden rubbish to take down to the local tip, and then we want to catch up on this wolf that we never managed to get yesterday because of the rain. So I'll say 7-3, and very good morning, and I'll put it over to goes to Trevor from me. So 7-3 guys, anyone who's listening, this is F4VSC, passing it to PA3BOH.
F4VSC, this is PA3BOH. Okay there, Ian, well, you're not just sending through, or something like that, but just like you, about a little bit more comfortable on FPH, so I think instead of going on FPH, I see with FPH you could take away that type of anyway, good signals everybody. Ian being a bit further away, dropping off I think you might say, but everybody else, Colin, still getting through very nicely, very nice. Sure you got congratulations on that. nothing, yes, a little bit more power now. That just helps a little bit. 100% now, 5 plus 5 and 9, and without the HP on, just getting through earlier on. A little bit noise there. So Mike, good morning to you. I understand you're gone as well. And Paul, still a very good strong signal there. So, and Mike, want to get to that's concentrate. Right, we're 1 hour ahead of you. But after the recording, that will get something done on again tomorrow morning with that. Then that will be packed away at 186. That's all working 100% now. So, with your attention, pass it over to you there, Paul. We'll listen around just a little bit. And then go to RT. M1 BBC.
PA3BOH, M1PVC. The decorator will shortly be coming. Well, good signal. 7-3 to you, Trevor. 7-3 to you, Ian. And enjoy the walk. Colin, your signal's still standing up very nicely. Martin, big signal now. Good 15-20 over. So I'm sure you said 62 in the first instance, but there you go, maybe that was me. And Mike, yeah, good modulation, Mike. And now that you've got the HT switch on, which I assume just controls the modulator, because you're certainly putting a carrier out without it, but certainly a good signal. One of the best I've heard for a long while from your station, actually. So whatever you've done looks as though it's worked well. So keep to that. And as I say, we'll put it round to you. And I'll say 7-3s, guys. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything to add. And as I say, got to get the decorator all sorted out. So enjoy your day, guys. Should be on the air tomorrow. Should have a bit longer tomorrow as well. G3 MHX to pick up, M1 PVC. Signing, briefly listening, then having to go QRT.
M1 PVC in the group there, this is G3. So what it is, I've got my transmit receive panel switch here. So in the centre of the panel, and above it there's a switch, and it's the HT switch for the modulator. Clearly the HT is on with the carrier running, but if I forget what it is, I turn the HT switch off just to have carrier to tune. Otherwise, there's no problems with arcing inside this maybe where the modulation comes from. I'm sorry, chaps, I forgot to put the HT switch down transmitting. Yeah, sorry about that. So a bit absent-minded. But I have sorted out, I'd say, the lead, the controls the transmitter, the external one from the microphone. I won't go on, it's a bit difficult to explain. And so apparently some stations are hearing me and others aren't. Maybe it's just yeah, I'm sorry, I get a bit absent-minded when I'm busy doing this, listening to what you're all saying there. So I think it's Martin next or something, and thank you very much, gents, for the reports, if and when you. So G3YJO,
G3MHX, G3YJO. Fine, Mike, all copied, and no problems. Just it's useful to have some sort of indication that you're getting out and some sort of modulation. So maybe even a little diode and an LED or something to just show that it's flickering. But anyway, no problems. Excuse me, got the frog this morning. I'm actually on the wireless set 6262, so you are correct there, Paul, the first time round, not the 52. Not the 52 set, this is the 62 set running into the 19 set RF amplifiers number 2. And yeah, so conditions seem really very good this morning. Mike, you strength 9 modulation could do a bit more, but perfectly Q5. Now let me see, Colin giving a report, very nice signal, strength 9 on the 19 set, so it's good to have a 19 to 62 set QSO this morning. Paul 9 plus as always, and hope the decoration continues to go well. Right, let me see, where are they getting up? Well, I've got Mike down here twice, why have I got that? Let's scrub you out once there, Mike. Okay, and good morning to Ian, hope you have a good day. Very nice signals this morning, as was Brian, if you're still listening. I'm not sure whether Trevor signed. Actually, that's a good point. I guess he must have done, because we haven't heard him for a little bit. So I'll leave a pause when I pass it over to you, Colin, just in case we've left anybody out. But otherwise, I reckon it's just you and me and possibly Mike left there, Colin. Right, let me see. Any other news? Nothing else much to report here. Just thinking about what project I should be doing next. I've been thinking about this for a while, actually. I think, as I was explained yesterday, there's several things that I could do, and therefore I'm sort of not doing any of them at the moment. Right, so over to you, Colin, but with a pause in case we've left anybody out. G3TSK, G3YJO.
Yeah, there were 2 callers there. Can you go again, please?
Go 3.
Could you sort it out, Martin? I think two callers at once there.
Yeah, G3YJO. Well, there was a carrier and a G3 X-ray something. Could the G3 X-ray something come again?
Golf 3 Whiskey X-ray Golf. Golf 3 Whiskey X-ray Golf.
Right, Golf 3 Whiskey X-ray Golf, G3YJO. Q5 about strength 6. There was another station, so could the other station give a call? YJO, nothing heard. Over to you there, Colin.
Roger. I'll just pause a sec. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much there. Yeah, 2 stations called in at once, and all I got was a couple of words, and then not words, letters, if you like. The formation of a word, and then a heterodyne, so there you go. But I got G3WXG, or I think it's G3WXG. I hope I've got that right, and I've got the wrong way there. This is Golf 3 Tango Sierra Kilowatt, so I'll pass it to you there next time over. But you're quite a good signal, and I'm not sure if we worked. I haven't got my little list here, just to check, but we may well have worked. And I do apologize if I forgot, but there you go. After advancing age, your memory's not so good. But my name is Colin, located near Minehead. At the moment, I'm running the 19 set with a homebrew amplifier with about 20 watts carrier. So there we are. And we're just having a bit of a natter about all sorts of things there. Your 62 set into your 19 amp Mark II is very good. I looked at a couple of the circuits for the amplifier for the 19 set. One using 4 807s and the other one using 2 807s. And when I started to build this amplifier, I decided I'd have a go, but I found the matching circuit was very difficult, so I abandoned it altogether and just simply put in a couple of 6146s, and a matching circuit which gives me quite a boost because it has quite a high Q to show that it has a very high gain, this little amplifier, a very high gain indeed. So there you go. Anyway, we'll bring the other station in there now, and less of my waffle. So, a very good morning to everybody. Hope to hear you tomorrow. Mike, well, you're much better. I agree with you with the comments, very, very much better. And Trevor came through quite well there. And I must look up Trevor's location to see exactly where he is there. So, could the station go ahead? I think it's G3WXG, but it could be G3XWG, or it could be another combination. I'm not too sure. But anyway, if you'd like to go ahead now, please, from G3TSK, over.
G3TSK, this is X-ray Golf, more frequency X-ray Golf, calling in. Thank you very much, Colin, for being on the screen there. Just the comments. I'm pretty wide of it. I'm going to see what is...
I am indeed. And a very... excuse me. A very good morning to Martin there. And... yes, I suppose we're just about as far away.
Lousy morning here. It's just stopped raining, so what's almost pretty miserable.
Despicable day. No, it was a good show, Terry. I just didn't find anything that struck me fancy. I was tempted with a couple of radios that I thought were cheap, but when I'd had a thought about it, I went back and they'd gone, so they obviously were cheap. Came across some valves that looked identical with pinout and everything to 3500s, but they were made by IMAX 3867s, and I've never heard of them, and I can't find anything on the net about them either, so maybe I passed up a good set of 3500s in disguise, I don't know. M0STS with MW0ZUS. Good morning, Stu.
Yep, good morning, gents. Mike Zero Sierra Tango Fox returning. And you're still 5'9" plus with me, Keith, and Terry's a nice 5'9" as well, so pretty good. Not a lot to report here. The rain hasn't started yet, but it looks as though it's going to rain. It's still dry at the moment. Pretty good net last night. And then Saturday night we had one as well, although Saturday night's net, we just seemed to get invaded by heathens north of the border. I think it's Paul, I think they're all attracted to him like flies. When Paul's on, we just get a load of Scottish stations calling in. We rib him about it a little bit, but it was pretty good actually. And I'm just trying out this Time Wave DSP 9 Plus DSP unit I got, the audio DSP unit I got off eBay. Just been playing with it today and yesterday. It seems to work quite well. It's doing a job anyway. MW0 ZUS in the group, M0STS.
Yeah, morning Stu, G0TSH MW0ZUS. There is something on your hoist, Stu. There's some kind of feedback type thing just after every syllable you make. Can you hear that, Keith? Not sure what it is. Oh yeah, I saw it, you've got that. Oh, brilliant, because it's like an outboard DSP unit type thing. Very good. You got a good price as well, I think, haven't you? Oh, here comes the call. Oh, there we are. Oh dear. What I done yesterday, it was quite a nice weekend actually. It was one weekend in 6 that we're off together. So we were in. We went out on Saturday afternoon and had a few drinks and ended up in Witherspoons and had something to eat before we came home. Yesterday we went to Chepstow, met Tara and Alex, and we had a nice cup of tea and some sandwiches, I think, in M&S Cafe. That was nice. Spent most of the day there, home by around 4 o'clock-ish, maybe a bit more. And that was it, really. But a very nice weekend, actually. Lynn is working tonight. I'll definitely be in the shack tonight. And there was, it's funny, isn't it, with Paul on. I think people they feel more secure when Paul's on. Maybe they're a bit scared of us. G0TSH MW0ZUS.
Yeah, thanks, Terry. M0STS G0TSH. Yeah, I was going to comment, Stu, there's a little bit of, sounds like RF feedback on the audio. But I'm sure you'll sort it very quickly. I was home in time for the net last night, but I was tired out, so I was home at 8:30. But I was tired having just driven, I think, just under 500 miles yesterday well, just under 500 mile on Saturday and 500 mile yesterday, so decided to give the net a miss. I was home just gone 8:30. I saw the comments on Skype. Just one thing I noticed of a comment of Paul on Skype, whinging about the car he got for free, only doing 34 to the gallon or something like that. I thought, typical type jock, but there we are, that's one of those things, isn't it? Yeah, it was a good show. There was plenty there for people who like to build. I just couldn't find anything I wanted. So, you know, in one thing it was a waste of time, but in the other side of it, it was a weekend away, so not too bad, really. There was a couple of things I ummed and ahed over and in the end decided not to. A couple of things I ummed and ahed over and was too late by the time I got back to them, which is how it normally goes. There was a lot of stuff there for people who made VHF equipment yesterday, but not so much on the HF side. I've noticed rallies get like that sometimes, but there was plenty of stuff and it was a well-attended rally. There was quite a queue to get in, and the location is actually very good. It's in a big it's actually called the Expo Centre, Louvre Expo. It's I don't know, it's a massive hall with bar, restaurant, etc., etc., and a very, very nice location with lots of room inside. People weren't crushed up on top of each other, so plenty of room to walk round. And there was quite...
Anyway, so I get them every year, so...
Voilà. Je vous souhaite un excellent...
Wij hebben hem weer uitgehaald en ik heb daar die sandblassen er nu in. En dat werkt heel goed en heel...
We haven't had any rain overnight, but I think we had our bit yesterday, Tom. And looking at the weather picture, all this stuff is working its way across.
It's a 2 or 3 day job. I bought a new cutter.
M3 GCA.
So... But other than that, it was quite a good rally.
Anyway, and I hope that David's new television is still working satisfactorily.
Planning is different as well.
Over there and...
When you drive through the main street, there's lots of billboards, you know, advertising.
That's the story from here for the time being. Anyway, Tom, G4DFA, G4WYJ.
G4WYJ, G4DFA. Yeah, okay, Jim. Okay, about the railways on the air. I missed all that. I forgot to look round the band. We had, well, I probably wouldn't have done anyway, thinking about it, because we had Anne and Martin here for dinner yesterday. And they sort of were here till about 8 o'clock last night. So it wasn't particularly a good opportunity to go on the radio. I managed to get on first thing to the Dorking Club net before I went out to church, but other than that, we haven't really done anything radio-wise yesterday. And I really only went to church yesterday because on Saturday I'd swapped out the church's audio mixer from one that I borrowed from work, which is an identical unit. The church's one, which was bought second-hand fairly cheaply on the internet, has developed 1 or 2 problems, and I didn't want to leave them without anything while I was looking at it, so having borrowed an old unit from work that is more or less identical, I can put that in place, and if it takes me a few weeks to take the church's mixer apart and investigate the issues, then they're not without. So we were doing that Saturday. It took about 3 hours to swap the thing over and set everything up to the same settings, which is now sitting in my porch waiting for me to look at. I thought I'd better go and show my face yesterday morning, just make sure that we hadn't got any of the settings wrong and everything. It's normally set up so that for everyday operation, so to speak, people just come in and plug the mics on the stands and switch on the master and away you go. But if they're doing anything a bit more complicated, then I tend to attend, but otherwise I don't bother. So I thought I'd better go down and just make sure that nothing went wrong, and I had in fact set all the settings roughly in the right place, and in fact that was the case. So it wasn't a troubled morning, shall we say. All things went smoothly, which is always good. Okay, on the operations, yeah, so it all sounds very good, that. And okay, about the 60-foot fiberglass, I thought you'd had a disaster with that and had it snapped by the bad weather. Perhaps you've since bought another one. One of the things that came up